A leech. Fucking calling me that. Fucking racist son of a bitch.
I'll send you to hell.
It's locked. Blood of a pure heart, garlic, blood of... I should find the key to that box. It's locked, all right.
It's not what I asked for.
Edgar. Edgar, can you hear me?
Jonathan, is it really you?
Easy. Easy. Save your strength. I'm getting you out of here.
Don't try to spare me. As a physician, I know all too well when it's too late. Punctured lung, broken ribs, internal bleeding. An accurate diagnosis, wouldn't you say?
Edgar, what happened?
They wanted me to confess. Beat me black and blue.
Jeffrey McCullum ambushed me at the Pembroke Hospital. He was convinced you and I were responsible for the Skal epidemic.
I never imagined that self-righteous fanatic would dare to attack us in the open. What became of him?
I put him in a somewhat delicate position when I made him an immortal.
Really? You sure that was the wisest course of action?
Time will tell. The most intriguing part of his accusation was that you and I were the pawns of some ancient vampire.
William Marshall. Yes, they tortured me to make me confess the same nonsense.
I think you're hiding something, Edgar.
What do you mean?
William Marshall, for example. You speak of him as if you know him. How is that?
Jonathan, I cannot say I'm ready for another round of questions.
While investigating the epidemic, I read some of McCullum's findings. I think you have some explaining to do.
I have nothing to hide, Jonathan. Nothing at all.
Do you know Doris Fletcher's real name?
No, I'm afraid not.
Her real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of Harriet Jones.
What do you want me to say, Jonathan?
Do you remember when we suspected Sean Hampton of killing Harriet Jones?
Yes. The terrible episode that came as a shock to us all.
Harriet Jones faked her own death. When I found her in the sewers, she confessed she wanted everybody to pay for what happened to her.
That woman was extremely bitter, full of hatred and festering anger.
Doris Fletcher visited her mother at the Pembroke Hospital. That's how she first got infected.
I know nothing about that. Miss Fletcher once came to visit the sick. That is all I know.
No, Edgar, there is more. Doris Fletcher was Harriet Jones's daughter. They exhibited the same symptoms. Blind hate and strong physical mutation.
What does this sad story have to do with us?
Do you know where we are? Doris Fletcher's theater. This is where that hateful creature plotted to spread the epidemic across London.
I only briefly met Miss Fletcher once when she visited the Pembroke Hospital. You say it was to see her mother. She seemed like such a sweet and graceful woman.
My point exactly. The disease turned her into a bitter soul, driven by vengeance just like her mother. A symptom of all the infected patients.
Certain diseases are known to produce similar effects. Rabies, for example. And rabies is not the devil at work.
Come on, Edgar. Don't you see the pattern here? The epidemic, the link between Doris and Harriet, the suspicion of McCullum.
How could I? I never saw Harriet Jones again after she fled the hospital.
Doris and Harriet shared more than a hidden family bond. They were the embodiment of the epidemic and are linked to the Pembroke Hospital. Come on, Edgar, this is no coincidence.
I swear I'm at a complete loss. All I did was administer vampire blood to cure old Harriet. There was no evil plan, no diabolical plot.
You did what?
I tested the regenerating and healing properties of vampire blood on Harriet Jones. My only intention was to find the cure for influenza, I swear.
Whose blood did you use? William Marshall's? Mine?
Lady Ashbury's. While transfusing her with human blood, humanely appeasing her hunger, I also kept samples of her blood for my research.
You used her blood on Harriet Jones? My God, Edgar, that's unethical. You betrayed 2 of your patients at the same time.
Right, I admit it. I boldly ventured into experimental realms, but I've killed no one to appease my thirst for knowledge, Jonathan. I'm no murderer.
I never asked to become what I am, Edgar. You chose to conduct your rogue experiments.
You have worked beside me. You saw what I'm doing at Pembroke Hospital. Jonathan, you know I'm not an evil soul. Just another victim of this tragedy.
No, Edgar, you are not going to die. Unless you want to.
What do you mean?
I can save you, Edgar. I can turn your broken body into one like mine.
You truly would? After all I've done, after all that's been said, you would offer me this gift?
I have no way of knowing which punishment would be worse, Edgar. But it is not for me to decide. So?
Oh, please, Jonathan, please. I beg you. This is what I've always wanted. This is what I've always searched for.
Very well, then. Prepare to die and be reborn. To face an eternity of guilt.
I'm ready. Oh, indeed, I am ready.
Enough!
Hint failed. Hint failed. Yeah, whatever, I don't care. So when's he reborn? Like, what happens to my offspring? Yeah, 'cause so far I've created 3 offsprings. Look how much XP I've lost, mate. 1,000 something minus. Just left him die, but oh well.
So Harriet Jones became the original carrier when Edgar gave her vampire blood. I must tell Elizabeth.
This is no steady, boy!
Kinda need to face him, get some kills, some of my XP back at least.
Over there! There's one of them
Not vermin. I'm beautiful.
Get back in the train!
It's you humans. That fucking vermin, mate. You kill with no mercy, you kill with no fucking gratitude, you don't give a shit who you wipe out in the meeting. Of course, humans are the fucking pandemic of the world, I'll tell you that now. She's not going to be happy with me.
What good fortune brings you back to me, Jonathan? What is it, my dear?
I'm afraid it's bad news, Elizabeth. The worst, actually.
Please, speak up.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
Of a sort. His injuries were mortal. I had no choice but to make him one of us. To save him. Or to punish him.
To punish him? I fail to understand. And what is the source of this cold tone in your voice?
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skull epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain? This is the most terrible accusation of all.
He confessed everything to me. He sought to cure the disease, to exploit vampire blood to stop the epidemic. But he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
Edgar's behavior was beyond lunacy. He had neither the discipline, knowledge, nor the proper facilities to conduct blood experiments.
I must say I'm shocked, Jonathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient. Let me guess. It was Harriet Jones, was it not?
Yes. That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected, and how she became an Ichor. She secretly visited her mother at Pembroke.
Then we have no choice. We must act quickly, Jonathan. We must return to the sewers and put an end to the threat poor Harriet embodies.
I have one more matter to discuss with you. Harriet Jones was the primary case, but... do you know what a healthy carrier is?
There is a tone in your voice that frightens me, Jonathan. What are you trying to say?
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
What? No. No. This can't be. Oh.
Elizabeth, are you all right?
No, I have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone. Save the city, Jonathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I swear I never was your
Wait!
enemy.
No! Elizabeth!
Well, this is getting some twists. Can I rob her one last time? I swear I never was your enemy.
It's locked, all right.
Kind of weird. Gather ingredients. Onto the... I have no idea. But whatever. We're gonna go to these destinations where it tells me on the map anyway. Is in Britain. Your true blood is immigrants anyway. So if you're
Now
that
would be
bothered
a good
about
time to blend the recipe Marshall used when he fought the disaster. I think I know where to find what I need.
So if people were that bothered about immigrants, you would get yourself out of the country, mate. Because we're all immigrants. Fuck off. You gay ass little ability.
You leeches didn't kill him, did you? Have no fear, brothers.
Don't. I'm just going to lead your mate away. I'm going to go for that easy one over there. Come on with the parry! All the fucking time! Take the piss game. Oh, I ain't got no more syringes. Fantastic. That's what I always love.
Go on, back to the shadows. It's done for
Look how much damage they do all the time. Fuck off. I have no choice but to at least try and kill him. I need to get my XP back. I'm so low on at the minute. I want to know what's where my project is like. that it's still alive.
Whose blood could be purer than that of William Marshall? Lord Redgrave will have to spare me a drop.
Women of all countries unite!
Did I tell you that now, man? Like, and I'm not asking for everything off Alexa to read. Shut your trap. Now, where's that douchebag? There he is. Oh no, you're not him.
I heard the Guard of Prewin has installed a new headquarters somewhere.
Oh, he's actually alive. How you doing, dickhead?
Welcome back, my mortal peer. Let me look at you with my piercing new eyes.
Good evening, Aloysius. How do you feel?
Mr. Dawson to you. You may be my maker, and I thank you for that. But we must not forget etiquette.
Forgive me, sir.
You're forgiven, my dear doctor. And if you need anything, even the most expensive items to help you in your mission, you just have to ask. I'll be glad to sell you some of the rarest goods I own.
You mean sell? I own you, bitch.
What is your plan, if I may ask? Not for the city, but for your own future.
My future and the future of this city are one, Dr. Reed. Step by step, London will soon be the center of the greatest empire ever.
Would it be insolent to ask what the first step will be?
I have ordered the assassination of my entire family to ensure I'm the sole heir to my fortune. I can't take the risk of facing another immortal Dawson.
When will that be achieved?
We should gain total control of Europe and the Western colonies, and aim to put an immortal king on the throne within a century.
Are you already planning a coup?
Of course not! My only interest is in the protection of the crown. I want to turn the legitimate king or queen into a powerful echo.
You can't do that.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Dawson. You've lived a long life, and have surely met some interesting and influential people.
Sod off! I don't reveal my life to someone I hardly know, whether he be my maker or not.
I beg your pardon.
You heard me. And remember, I already wear a protective amulet against your mental intrusions, Dr. Reed. I've studied your species for decades.
How do you feel since your return?
I think I may have acquired and read every forbidden document about vampires and how it feels to be an immortal. I even own a copy of the Blood Bible, but nothing compares to what I know now.
What is this Blood Bible?
It's supposedly the only documented evidence that an immortal attended the Last Supper. You should read it, if you ever find it.
What have you discovered?
That mortals are but puppets in our hands. I can sense a rat running in our attic right now. Nothing can stop me doing precisely what I want.
I can.
How is the sanitary situation in the city?
Hopeless. It's as if new sources of infection continue to spread, even though you've cleansed the theater.
What is the situation in the club?
Lord Redgrave has just informed me that we keep on fighting the Guard of Prewin. I can't wait to test my new physical abilities against mortals.
The vampire hunters are dangerous, sir. They may be mortals, but they are trained and quite efficient, believe me.
Bah! Nonsense! How could they resist me, now that I can endure almost anything? I feel victory in my veins, thanks to you.
Yeah, I can remove that.
Is Lord Redgrave fighting too?
Yes. I've heard he's out every night, hunting the hunters. He's showing us all how things are done when true English blood feels endangered.
I may need equipment and some rare items to protect the city, sir.
Why is it down there?
Good evening, Lord Redgrave.
Welcome, Lance-Bearer. To what do we owe this pleasure?
I've located the true origin of the epidemic, and I'm about to end it.
Good. We've held out thus far, but the time has come to put an end to this crisis. Tell me, what do you need?
The blood of William Marshall.
The blood of William Marshall? Of my maker? Are you mad? This blood is the purest of all. My maker proffered it to me on the battlefield. I cannot hand it to you.
No one can interfere with my mission. I won't allow it. I have made too many sacrifices in my search for answers.
I see. Well, in that case, given the gravity of the situation, I suppose I can spare you a drop.
Thank you, my lord.
Now go, Lance-Bearer. Craft a legend to be sung to Ascalon recruits for the ages to come.
Right, so we got that actually a lot easier than I thought I would have done. I thought I was going to have to fight him there. What a shame. I really get no XP for that. I'm just going to have to go around killing, aren't I? That's the thing, I've got no choice. You know, talk how I feel free to talk. I have to dull myself down to a dumbass all the time. Like, to be honest, sometimes when I speak to some of my friends, I feel like I should just be licking my elbow. But I suppose when someone can get lost into a phone by scrolling up and down all the time, it becomes pointless for me. It infuriates me as well. Right, so we got that pretty easy. When you go over here, there's a new event over here that I am actually quite well, I'm not concerned, but I want to go across here. Aha, he's back. I get to see my fucking... I can't remember what they called it, but I get to see my offspring. I need the XP and all, so I'm just gonna go in here and make these. Hey, dickhead! It's not much, but it's something. I don't need to go that way anyway.
It's an leech!
might be a monster, mate, but at least I'm not just fucking randomly going around harassing people at the doors and shit. Oh, what? I thought you'd been dead. I want to go over there.
Its effectiveness has been proven by many. Good evening.
I'd like to see...
Why is my like marker not on? Oh, now I see it.
This is now my domain, young Ekon.
Whatever. Conflict, no damage. I see, it's that blood shit there that he puts on. That he constantly puts on. Fucking ability, it's just ridiculous. No damage. Just no damage. It's whatever that orb thing does. Prevents me from causing damage to him, look. I can stun him though. It's the only thing I can really do. Stun him and bite him when he goes onto that bullshit. Right. Here's my fucking marker again. Straight up here. Here's a nibble, bro. Much appreciated. You're not, though. So if you bite the fuckers, they don't explode. Sorry man, I just need XP. Still can't make any of that. These supplies don't seem to be coming back this time. fucking ill again.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Shut the fuck up.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
Not really.
As long as you remember. Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
We hear disgust on every street corner. The daily
Ah, he'd be in the sewer, not he?
Good.
They're all
Do
ill
you need
again.
medical help?
I'm afraid.
Not under my watch, nurse.
Thank.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
And
Do you need my... There is no... Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
I gave him a cure for a headache, but yeah. I don't even know how to create a headache.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I can.
I will come and check on you later.
Says it's
I'll
locked.
leave you, Miss...
it's safer here than anywhere else in the East.
He must be in the sewer then. Because it's going down.
We four for England, or England on five for us.
I cannot enter.
This is a basement? Never seen a basement in here.
I cannot use garlic, but there may be a substitute in the Pembroke Hospital drug storage.
I don't know where he is.